USA.
What's good? This is Out on a Limb, hosted by me, Adam Michalesko. Today, I have Sasha Sloan on the podcast. So, Sasha, thank you so much for coming out. I'm gonna give you a little cute little intro, but you have maybe seen her on TikTok under Sasha Sloan or Kyla Squash. She is the CEO / supreme leader of Archive Sunday, also the trendsetter for the starting of the cool nerds movement. I thought of that myself. I just thought it was really cool that you said that. But,
Sounds good.
I'm now going to give you the honor of, I'm going to say you're the queen of the cool nerds. So so thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
So first, I hit all my episodes. What's your song of the day? What do we've been listening to recently?
Song of the day is Back in Black, which is just one of my favorites. I love classic rock. And right now I'm editing our House of Black episodes in season 2. Mm-hmm. And the episode that introduces the boys is to the song Back in Black. So that's very much stuck in my head right now.
Oh, that's really cool. So I didn't know you're into classic rock. That's really cool. I like a lot of classic rock stuff. But
I love it.
Yeah. But mine is Monsters by All Time Low. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but I've been listening to the song nonstop recently.
Oh, cool. I'll have to look it up after this and listen to it.
It's a catchy song. I don't know why. It just is. But first, I gotta ask, what is a cool nerd to you?
A cool nerd. Honestly, I think that a cool nerd is someone who's just very confident in the stuff that they like. I think that confidence in general is so attractive. And I think that TikTok has helped people sort of step into their own and find their people to affirm them that yes, I like this thing like Star Wars or Harry Potter or whatever it is, but they feel very confident and secure in themselves that that's something that brings them joy. They like having it in their life and they're not going to apologize for it.
I like that a lot. Especially I think that's a really cool thing. But first I want to talk about on how this episode even came about. Literally was scrolling through TikTok one day and I saw your TikTok on how your business just boomed out of nowhere. And you went from your parents' basement to now a warehouse and now you're kind of killing it. So I was I got to message this girl and I mean, luckily you answered back right away. So thanks for that.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's definitely been crazy. TikTok is able to show you to so many strangers and kind of open you up to the world in a way that I think other social media platforms haven't really done. So It's definitely been cool getting to connect with different people and share my story with a lot of people that I never imagined that I would. So it's been cool.
That is really cool. And even before we start, before we recorded this, it was just cool, just to get a little sense of how you are. And so I love that. That's my whole, hopefully this grows, but anything I do, I would love to, start traveling and start meeting more people because you never know who you're going to meet. It's just such a cool thing.
Absolutely.
So you are from Utah. I believe Post Malone is from Utah as well. And he just said he just loves it out there because it's beautiful and quiet. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I've actually driven up to see Post Malone's house before because it's up the canyon, kind of in Salt Lake area. I just love Utah. The outdoors are amazing. I love downtown Salt Lake. Right now, I'm serving as Miss Greater Salt Lake in the Miss Utah organization. And it's been so great to be able to rep my city. And I live in downtown, kind of by the Salt Lake Temple. And I just love the neighborhood. I don't have enough good things to say about Utah in general.
Well, that was eventually going to be one of my questions down the thing. So I guess we'll just hit on that first and then we'll hit on to some other stuff. So you are Miss Greater Salt Lake. So when did you get that? When did that happen? Was that last year before COVID?
Yeah, it would have happened a year before COVID. So Miss Utah happens every year in June. And then sort of pageant season is in the summer around it. And so I picked up my title in August, not of this last year, but the year before that. And then I'll compete again at Miss Utah in June, probably, of 2021. But they haven't announced the date yet, so I'm not 100% sure.
So I guess this is an extended period that you get to be because of COVID, right?
Yeah, I think I'm probably the first Miss Greater Salt Lake in history to hold the title for 2 years. Because my directors were really awesome and they let me just keep the crown and keep it rolling. So
So you got to rep that. That's awesome. Good for you. So do you have any, like, well, when did you first get into pageants then?
So I actually competed for the first time when I was about 15 in the teen program, in the Miss
Mhm.
Utah's Outstanding Teen program. And I definitely did not grow up in a pageant family or a girly family in any way. Like I grew up running wild in the outdoors, starting fires, building forts, catching fish with my hands. Like I was like a wild
That's
child.
awesome.
And then when I was, kind of a young teenager, I was really looking for some kind of extracurricular activity that I could get into that would sort of be my own thing. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and I wanted to do something just different from my siblings.
Right.
And I found online the Miss Utah's Outstanding Teen program and signed myself up, and then told my mom like the next day, like, hey mom, just so you know, I'm going to go compete for Miss Teen Utah. So hopefully you're on board. And my first 2 years as a teen, the first year I just did not know anything that I was doing. Like, did not know how to put on eyelashes, did not know how to choose a talent song. I think I sang a song from a musical and it was just so bad. Somehow, by the grace of God, I made it to the top 10. And
Wow.
that really just like lit this fire in me. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just loved it so much. I had the best experience. So then I came back the next year and just worked really, really hard. And I made it to the top 5 my second year. And then at that point, I'd aged out of the teen program and knew that I wanted to continue as an adult, but I kind of wanted to wait. So after I graduated high school, I went and worked for Disney for a while. I went and served a mission. And then after I felt like I'd matured a little bit, I came back to compete for Miss Davis County, which was my home county.
Mhm.
And I actually lost my first time, like didn't win my local competition. And there's
Oh
only
my
like
gosh.
7 people that compete in your local one. And so my confidence was just crushed. Right. But
Right.
I was so lucky that there was a family friend there whose name was Stephanie, who pulled aside my sister and said, I see a lot of potential in Sasha, but she's trying way too hard. And
Oh
she's
wow.
not like being her authentic self. And I just
Mhm.
like want to get my hands on Sasha and help her like not be trying so hard and be more comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
So in that year that I was serving as the first attendant, so kind of second place in the pageant, I worked with this coach a lot on my mentality and stuff. And then I came back the second time to compete, and that time I won Miss Davis County.
Wow.
So then I went to Miss Utah. I competed at Miss Utah by the grace of God, made it to the top 10, but again, didn't make it farther than the top 10. And I just had this huge fire lit under me that I'm like, I can do this job. I want to be Miss Utah so bad, but I was here and I needed to make it to like 10 levels up to be able to compete at that level. And so I just like worked my little butt off for about a year and really expanded my service resume. I got with like 3 different vocal teachers every single week and just worked my talent like into the ground. So I did all of this work, had this huge glow up and transformation. And then I got to Miss Utah and I made it to the top 5 and I ended up getting second runner up.
Oh wow.
So that was like after all that work. So then I'm like even more determined to go back. So then I go to compete for Miss Greater Salt Lake, which is the most competitive local title. And
Mhm.
typically, historically, a lot of Miss Greater Salt Lakes have won Miss Utah. So like this last year, Dejana, she was Miss Greater Salt Lake. The year before that, Jessie Craig, she was Miss Greater Salt Lake. So I knew it was this really coveted title with this really awesome prep team. And
Yeah.
so I came back to compete, and this last time, by the grace of God, I was able to win the Talent Award and the Evening Gown Award and Miss Greater Salt Lake.
Wow.
So kind of started from the bottom, like started from being the laughing stock and have just clawed my way up to Miss Greater Salt Lake. So that was a really long story, but that's kind of the arc of Sasha's pageant life.
Well, that's awesome. I love how you even said like in the beginning, like you had to just find yourself and just be yourself, because when I first started like getting in my life with like with my degree, trying to be on TV and sports and entertainment, when I was doing like some TV stuff, I felt myself like sound like an idiot, like just looked silly on camera, right? And then someone
Right.
just pulled me aside and was like, literally like, just be yourself, talk with confidence. And ever since that day, I mean, I'm still working on it, but it's definitely gotten way better.
It's like, it's so interesting. I feel like even on TikTok, that is what I think honestly has made my account successful, is that I have gotten to a point because of Miss America where I
Mm.
am just so confident being my authentic self,
Yeah.
because you kind of learn in pageantry, if you fake it, like if you fake any kind of a different personality, number one, judges can tell. And
Mm.
number two, you're not going to win because it's just off-putting to people. They can tell when you're not being real. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've had to work to sort of strip away like any kind of front that I put on, or any kind of insecurity that would make me hold back. And I just had to get to a point where I'm like, yep, this is what I am, this is what I do. Hopefully you like it.
Well, I respect that, because that's literally my biggest pet peeve in life. And I've definitely cut off a couple people. Like, as soon as I see like any type of fakeness in you, I am out. Like, I cannot stand those type of people. I even like had people like who I wanted to come on the podcast, and then I learned more about them, and I was like, I just thought they were fake, and I was like, I can't stand it. It just frustrates me. Like, if you're not honest with yourself, like, how can you be honest to the world? It makes zero sense to me.
Definitely.
So so what's the next step then? Are you trying to go for Miss Utah and then try to go to Miss America then?
Yes, that is the dream of all dreams. I'll go back to compete again for Miss Utah probably in June, probably this
Mm-hmm.
summer. And I feel like a completely different person than last year. There's just been a huge mental and physical glow up. So I'm just really excited to go back and compete. And the platform that I have for the Miss Utah organization, it's called your Social Impact Initiative, sort of the plan
Mm-hmm.
that you have to serve the community.
Yeah.
Mine is to work with the Utah refugee community,
Mm-hmm.
because Utah is one of the most refugee friendly states, and Salt Lake City in particular has a lot of really incredible refugee rehabilitation programs and post resettlement programs. So my dream is to be awarded the title of Miss Utah, and then to serve as the official governor's ambassador to the refugee community here in Utah, and try to build
Wow.
some of those cultural bridges, and just help Utahns understand their refugee neighbors, and help refugees have a smooth transition into life here in the United States. So that's my dream of what I want to do with Miss Utah. And then I would love to go compete for Miss America, and hopefully take a similar platform on a national level, and sort of,
Wow.
hopefully be a voice nationally to highlight refugee stories and some of the incredible refugee women and men that I've worked with and met over the years. So that's my
See,
big dream.
that is phenomenal, because it's so weird, like when you're saying this stuff, like I didn't have the same idea like with refugees or anything, just because I'd never been brought up in my life. But I when I said, if I ever like reach a plateau like where I'm like a name and whatnot, I would love to, like, what would really make me happy in life is just literally start charities and foundations, just give back at that point. Like that's I feel like that's such an honor, and and to have people respect you and like look up to you, like that's it's a cool thing to think about.
Definitely. I think,
Hmm.
I mentioned I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and
Hmm.
like all of the success that I've had with Archive is sort of predated by my older siblings, Scott and Chelsea, who started
Hmm.
this company, Uptown Cheapskate. And they've built that, one store to being this big franchise with more than 70 stores or something. And one of
Hmm.
the things that they've done with their platform is they've organized all the stores to do these charity fill-a-bag sales that pay to build schools in underprivileged areas around the world. So we've built a number of schools across Africa, in Nepal, in
Wow.
Ecuador, and that's been so inspiring to me to watch my siblings take their success and turn it into something really incredible. And so
Hmm.
that's what I really hope to do. And obviously I'm not doing a perfect job of it in any way, but I would love to be able to take my platform and turn it into something really positive for people that haven't been given the same opportunities and privilege that I have, if that makes sense.
Right. That is phenomenal. I mean, that's all you could ask for. I feel like that's a perfect life almost, to get like you get to the top, then help other people. And like that's just it's a cool thing to think about. So I really respect that.
I mean, I definitely don't think I'm at the top yet. Let me be
No,
clear.
no,
Like
not
my
no.
my room right now is a mess,
Well,
but like
um,
maybe someday.
but, but yeah, that is phenomenal. So I really respect that. Now, what was your talent though? You said singing then?
Yeah, I'm a singer.
No way. That's so cool.
Yeah. Last
You
year
gotta-
I sang I Don Quixote for Man of La Mancha. And then this year my talent song is That's Life, which is a Frank Sinatra
Yes, I know
song.
that.
Yeah.
The,
So I'm very excited.
it was in that movie, The Joker, I believe. That's where I first
Yes.
heard it. And-
Literally, I watched The Joker. I saw the credits roll and heard the song in the credits, and I was like, "This is my talent song. This is it right there. That's where it came from." So
that is so cool. Yeah, I heard that song, and I actually have that on my phone. I listen to that a lot just because I heard it in that movie, and I was like, "This is a really good song."
oh, good. I'm glad that you like it.
There's you know Mac Miller at all? Did you ever hear that singer?
Mac Miller. Yeah.
Yeah. He well, he's obviously dead now, sadly, but he had a song with his with somebody, and they did a song called "That's Life." I don't know if it was a rendition of that, but it's, I don't know. I just love I'm a big Mac Miller fan, so that's what I thought about.
I love that.